Yes, sir. Can I start, sir?
Yeah, Ayushi,
Yes, sir.
you may start, Ayushi, please.
Okay, sir. A very pleasant evening to all the distinguished panelists and the participants. Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management BVI CAM, in association with Computational Intelligence Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Computer Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Technology and Engineering Management Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, System, Man and Cybernetics Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Communication Society of IEEE Delhi section, Consultants Network Affinity Group of IEEE Delhi section, Life Member Affinity Group of IEEE Delhi section, Inter-Society Relations Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Industry Relations and Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology, Standing Committees of IEEE Delhi section with the associations Computer Society of India, Institute of Information Technology Professionals, IITP, ISTE Delhi section and IETE Delhi Center as technical collaborator welcomes you all to the webinar on the topic AI, technology, use cases and the way forward. It is a moment of pride and honor to announce that we, with united hands, mark special contribution for the monumental occasion Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, an initiative to celebrate 75 years of glorious independence by organizing the thought-provoking sessions for our better future. The webinar is an initiative for celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Just as electricity transformed everything almost 100 years ago, today I actually have a hard time thinking of an industry that AI, artificial intelligence, will transform in the next several years. Well stated by Andrew Ng. A very high degree of technological advancement, especially in areas of artificial intelligence and machine learning, have taken place in last one decade. AI pervasiveness have increased manifold to the extent of being omnipresent in every spectrum of our society. And it has started impacting our day-to-day life in so many amazing ways. Very high-end AI and ML algorithms are being used behind the scenes to make our everyday lives better and better. AI and ML technologies are now assist in every area of our lives, whether we are trying to read our emails, get driving directions, get music or movie recommendations, email communications, web searching, social media, digital assistants, self-driving and parking vehicles, stores and services, other offline experiences and whatnot. This webinar aims to explore the all-around impact of AI in our society, few use cases, and the way forward. I would first like to take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I would first like to welcome Mr. Saurabh Agarwal, sir, Head of Strategy and Growth, PSU Business, TCS. He is an active member of the Computer Society of India and was recently elected to the National Council of All India Management Association. I would like to request Mr. Saurabh Agarwal, sir, to please address the gathering. Please, sir.
Thanks, Ayushi.
Thank you, sir.
First of all, I would like to compliment BVI CAM and Professor Hoda for such an engaging series of webinars, which has been going on for over 2 years, every week and week after week. I'm sure you will soon touch century of webinars, and I think that will be a great achievement given the environment we have had for last 2 years. And the topics over all these weeks have been quite varied across technology and also other facets like wellness, etc., which is so important. And taking today's topic, for instance, artificial intelligence has become a very common term these days and is often used loosely along with other new technologies. Right? Now, artificial intelligence almost every time used along with machine learning as AI ML. Now, whereas we know ML is a subset of AI. And similarly, we use deep learning along with machine learning, whereas again, deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So whether you are in academics or research or part of industry, it is very important to use correct terminology for any technology that we use and practice. I'll give another example of digital. Last decade was of digital technology. And most of us, even experienced practitioners from industry like us, who have been providing solutions to our global clients, we were not very sure, exactly sure what does digital mean. And then we simplified it. And at that time, we said it was basically SMAC, acronym for social media, mobility, analytics, and cloud computing. And a combination of these four would become digital. But we have seen over the last few years that digital is deeper and, of course, more contextual than this. And coming back to AI, and I recall from my college days that AI was taught as a theoretical and a futuristic topic. Of course, it was not a subject yet, but even it was just a topic, a small topic, and very, very theoretical, very, very futuristic. And our seniors had studied it in a similar way, and for very long, our juniors also did the same. And for us, studying in 90s, and I think it has been going on in 70s or 80s, it was really incomprehensible to think how an intelligent machine can ever become a reality. Uh, and a confession, during school and college days, I always fancied streams like mechanical more than computers. So in computer, we started our programming skills with a language called BASIC. And the first program that we used to write would be like, a computer will ask you, input your name, and you will type your name, Saurabh, and will come back with, hi Saurabh, how are you? Right? And it was a mystery. How did it happen? How did computer respond that way to a layman? Whereas in mechanical, you can actually see a machine working. You can actually see motor parts moving and doing their job. You can see gears and you can see pulleys, the way it is happening, the engineering behind it, but not so in computers. In that sense, AI has been a mixed bag. It has given some of the clarity how computers work, how intelligent they have become, and how intelligent they can be. But even now, a mystery always remains. What next? What else can a computer do? Uh, uh, Again, no, as I repeat, last decade has shown us a lot more on what a computer can do than probably previous 30, 40 years. And I'll end with a small, by sharing a small interesting incident which happened very, very recently, as recent as yesterday. Yesterday, it was my son's birthday, and we had an extended family come over to our home. A few of them, and the youngest of them was my 9-year-old niece. And after cake cutting, while everyone was waiting for lunch to be served, the niece went to another room and started interacting with Alexa. She is one of the most technologically advanced or intelligent person in our house. So if I have a problem with something with my mobile, something is not working with any of the app or my WhatsApp, I go to her for help. And she has solution for every problem that I have gone to her till now. And so she was in the other room interacting with Alexa, and must have been talking for some time. I don't know what happened, what they were talking and what happened at the end. But in the end, my niece said, irritating with something, I don't know what. And then she told Alexa, Alexa, ja, mar ja. And how did Alexa respond? Are shub shub boliye. So I'll leave it there, and I leave it to expert speaker for today, Dr. Karnatak. I've heard him before, and with his rich experience, I'm sure he'll help in demystifying this topic, which we take for granted, but is actually very interesting topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to request Professor M.N. Huda, sir, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, and Vice Chairperson, IEEE Delhi Section, to address the participants with his inspiring words. Please, sir.
Good evening, one and all. Am I audible, Ayushi? Am I
Yes, sir,
audible,
you are
Ayushi?
audible.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, great. So, good evening, one and all. At the outset, let me welcome my today's valued speaker, Dr. Kamal, who, despite his preoccupied schedule, has agreed to be with us today and enlighten us on such an important topic, which is AI technology, use cases, and the way forward. Dear friends, I have very valued guest today, my friend from TCS, the past chairman of CSI Ghaziabad chapter and the patron of CSI Ghaziabad chapter, Mr. Saurabh Agarwal. I have the National Council, Governing Council member, Professor H.S. Bhatia from Mumbai, from Bangalore. I have Professor Subramaniam Krishnamurthy, the former chairperson of IEEE Delhi section. I have Professor Manohar Lal, age professors of computer science, who is always a source of inspiration to people like me and all the time. I have many of the sitting vice chancellors, many of the very senior professors, retired professors, deans, whom I can see amongst the attendees. I take this opportunity to welcome you all. Dear friends, as you know, this is the weekly evening IEEE IET BVI Camp webinar series, which is being organized every Saturday evening since May 2020 and was started in the backdrop of COVID-19. When entire world was disrupted, people didn't know that what to do and how to move forward, the way forward. So we started that let's have some technical lecture series for the purpose of engaging people and dissemination of knowledge, and that we are continuing. This is 87th webinar of that particular series. And yes, Mr. Saurabh, you rightly said, we will be closing and meeting to the century requirement. And added to that is the 75th anniversary celebration of the country, that is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So I take this opportunity to welcome you all. Friends, the today's topic, which is very important, the AI. As a student of computer science, I have always said that AI is the single largest technology in the world, which has not only transformed the way we live in last one decade, but has got a potential and the capability to transform entire world and give us absolutely different world, provided we should be ready to utilize the technology. That's the kind of the power. And that's how I say that if we realize the potential of the technology, it is something like that. ओ टेक्नोलॉजी के मुसाफिर तुम्हें अभी बहुत दूर जाना है. ओ टेक्नोलॉजी के मुसाफिर, ये दो पंक्तियां मैंने एआई के लिए लिखी थी बहुत पहले कि और टेक्नोलॉजी के मुसाफिर तुम्हें अभी बहुत दूर जाना है, गुलाब खिलाना है और आंधियों में चिराग जलाना है. That is possible with the help of the AI. That is the kind of potential. And there are a number of examples. She is rightly the kind which this technology has. Mr. Saurabh has also spoken on this topic. So instead of I speaking, I have taught this subject, AI subject, for almost 15 years when AI was not so popular. Now AI suddenly has become so popular that it is using AI. So we valued speaker Kamal Karnatak, who will be enlightening us from the industrial perspective that what opportunities in AI we have and how AI is going to transform the entire world around us. So I take this opportunity to welcome him once again, and with this note that whatever happens, let's keep connected. Let's ensure to never ever discontinue our learning, and that is why our slogan is that stay connected, stay safe and healthy, continue learning despite disruptions. And lastly, AI is capable of giving us the green world. AI is capable of giving us the safe world, and that's how I say that फूलों की तरह फिर हम खिलेंगे, फूलों की तरह फिर हम खिलेंगे, एंड अगले लेक्चर में एक नए टॉपिक के साथ फिर हम मिलेंगे. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. I'm traveling in car, so let's excuse me. And with my apologies, because otherwise I would have spoken more. Thank you so much. Over
Thank
to you,
you,
Doctor.
sir.
Over to you, Ayushi.
Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring us. I would now like to welcome amongst us our expert speaker, Dr. Kamal Karnatak, sir, Group CIO, RJ Corp, New Delhi, with an e-bouquet. I welcome you, sir. Kamal Karnatak, sir, is a seasoned CIO with 27 plus years of experience and has held senior IT leadership positions with Indian multinational companies in India. Kamal sir is known for consistently delivering business value by cultivating, motivating, and leading high performance teams that are passionately invested in the organization's success and the enterprise. He is known for building IT infrastructure from the scratch. Before joining RJ Corp, he worked in Aditya Birla Group, DCM Shriram Consolidated Limited, and Unitech. He has completed his PhD from IIT Delhi, his BTech MBA. He has done management courses at the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and the Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. Kamal sir is a keen observer, theatre artist, marathoner, Himalayan tracker, and the learner. I welcome you to this session, sir. I would now like to request you to kindly enlighten the house. Please, sir.
Thank you, Ayushi. Thanks, Saurabh. Thanks, Professor Huda, for a warm welcome. Uh, Greetings to all the people who are there in the participants, who are there in the panelists, all senior people. So it is my privilege to have this session where I can share what I have learned over a period of time, what we are doing in the industry, because I come from an organization. As you said that I work for as a group CIO for RJ Corp, but if I tell you about RJ Corp, probably you won't be able to understand what that company is. But if I tell you about the product of that company, uh, uh, immediately everybody would be able to recall. So we are the manufacturer and distributor of Pepsi in India. So whatever Pepsi you drink in India is manufactured and distributed by us under our company called Varun Beverages Limited. We are a partner of International, where we have QSR as a business, where we are a partner of Pizza Hut, KFC, Costa Coffee, Wango. So these all are the products which you enjoy at your home, and this is being manufactured and served by us. We have ice cream division, which is with the name Creamwell Ice Cream. So I don't want to go into that detail. So I come from that industry where we use technology for practical purpose, where we use technology as a backbone, because the entire operation run on the technology, and we use various facets of technology, including AI, ML, and data science. So let me share my presentation, and then we will discuss about uh, various things. I want to keep this as a very interactive session. So if at any point of time you feel that you have to say something, you can say something in chat, and Ayushi can help me out with those questions in between. Hope my presentation is visible. So today we
Yes,
are
sir.
going to discuss about artificial intelligence, what it is, what is the technology behind it, how it has become so important suddenly. Many people said that from last decade or so, yes, it has achieved a tremendous growth in last 1 decade, but this is not a new technology per se. We'll go into a little bit of history of that. Then we will see how practically organization can use this technology in the enterprises, how people are using it, what are the different use cases of it, and if you want to implement it either in your school or college or in the industry, what is the way forward, how you can take those AI projects within your organization and take the benefit out of it. So we'll discuss about that. I feel the time for this is quite less, because in 1 hour you probably and AI is a very vast topic, but I'll try to touch base all the things. Post that, if you feel that you have certain things which you require, so I'll be available offline. I'll share my contact details. You can get in touch with me, and we can post event also, we can discuss about that. So why AI has become suddenly very important? So if you see this, whenever I take big session for AI, I always go to the Google and try to search artificial intelligence. So in October 2021, I was taking a AI course for a Czechoslovakia based student organization. It was a 20-hour course. Then I searched about artificial intelligence, and Google has given me zero point 0.8 billion results. In April 2022, I have taken another session for another student body. So 1.4 billion results came. And this last one was today morning. When I searched again about artificial intelligence, I could get 1.59 billion uh, terms which are coming with artificial intelligence. So it seems that it is a hot topic. Everybody is talking about it. Media is covering it. There are public discussions. So there are some people are saying that it is a boon. Some people are fearing about this technology. So we'll try to discuss about that, because there are various things from a technology perspective, what it is, how you can use it. Then there are philosophical question, whether AI would lead to job losses, and if that kind of future is coming, how you can cope up with that. So we'll discuss some of the points. But one thing is very clear, it is going to be a very important topic for the future. Whether you should worry about AI or you should embrace it as a technology. So let us see some of the reports. I was going through a report from BCG, and that report is about the future of jobs in the era of AI. This report says that AI era, and specifically after this pandemic, when everybody is talking about digital transformation, everybody is talking about using technology for removing all those routine works. AI is going to give or going to wipe out million of jobs. And this is the report as early as March 2021 by BCG. And if you see this, and this is based on different kind of technology. So if you go through it, for example, in office and administrative support, people are going to lose roughly 3.5 million jobs. And this report, this particular statistics is based out of US. So this report says by 2030, 3.5 million jobs in the area of office and administrative support would not be required, or those jobs are wiped out. But at the same time, this report also says in the area of computer and mathematics, there is a requirement of 5.7 million jobs. So at one hand, we are saying that we are going to lose out 3.5 million jobs in one area, but at the same time, we are saying that we are creating new jobs which are unheard of as of now. Probably you don't know what that kind of job would be, but there is going to be a huge requirement for that kind of job. So if you take this, if you take the sum out of it, it shows that 6.1 million jobs are required, for which probably we don't have enough talent. So this is a new field. At one hand, artificial intelligence is wiping out some of the routine jobs, but at the same time, it is creating a lot of opportunities. So it is of huge interest for everybody. One who are going to be in the future for the job, one who are going to train future generations for the job. For them, it is going to be very important aspects. In the futures, you are competing with machines for the jobs. So there are some jobs which machine would be able to do better than you. But when I say you, it means humans, both gender. So some jobs are better done by machine. For some jobs, humans are required. And even in the area of artificial intelligence, there are a lot of jobs which are required. So artificial intelligence is kind of creating a future. If you see the history of artificial intelligence, Alan Turing has written a seminal paper, and in which he asked, "Can machine think?" And that became the premise of intelligent machine. However, the word artificial intelligence was coined in 1956 in Dartmouth conference, but in 1950s, Alan Turing has created a kind of buzz by saying, "Can machine think?" In fact, whenever we talk about artificial intelligence nowadays, and when we see the efficiency or efficacy of artificial intelligence, we do a test which is called a Turing test, in which you need to, if some technology or some bot or some robot able to perform good in Turing test, we say that yes, we have achieved that kind of artificial intelligence. So this was started somewhere in 1950. So 1956, the word artificial intelligence is coined in Dartmouth concept conference, and then it became a hype, as it happens with every technology. But there were a lot of winters also. In 1970, people thought that the kind of funding which is given to AI, it is not performing that kind of, or it is not fulfilling those kind of promises. So that was first winter. Then again in 1990s, because computer could not be scaled to that area, again there was a winter. But in 1997, when Deep Blue beats Gary Kasparov, who was a world champion in chess at that point of time, it created a new arena for artificial intelligence. And in 2011, IBM Watson won Jeopardy. But 2016 was another, a very interesting period for artificial intelligence, when Go software based on deep learning beats world champion. Go was a game which was supposed to be very tough game, and then no human can understand it better than some of the champions. And this Go software, which defeated the deep using deep learning technology, it was trained by machine itself. So no human was involved in training that software. So machine has learned it over a period of time using deep learning. So that was again a very interesting moment for artificial intelligence. So what artificial intelligence is doing, it is enhancing the capability of humans. It is kind of giving you a new ear. It is kind of giving you new ability of see futures. So our world is going to change more in next 20 years than in the previous 300 years. So whatever we have achieved as an human race in last 300 years, probably we are going to achieve more than that in next 20 years. But it could be heaven or it could be hell, because it is not the fault of technology, it is the application of the technology. Same atomic energy can be used for destruction, can be used for generating a lot of electric power and for good thing. So it is not the fault of technology. But future is better than we think, because it depends upon how we use that technology, how we use that tool is there. And in this tool, data is the new oil, because artificial intelligence will go into the detail of it. Data becomes a very important part of it. Once we have the right kind of data, then only we can use artificial intelligence, and then artificial intelligence becomes the kind of electricity. Because as of now, we know that everything works with the electricity, and we don't see the electricity with our physical eyes, but we know that electricity is working. So similarly, artificial intelligence will become so pervasive in all of our area. We won't be able to see it physically probably, but it would be doing wonders for organizations, for our personal lives. So a computer system that turn information and data into knowledge, where machine can hear, machine can see, machine can speak, learn, and over a period of time probably think also. As of now, till now, machine are not able to think. They are able to learn. They are able to become intelligent over a period of time. But as of now, they are not able to think. But maybe in future they would be able to think also, because people are working on those kind of use cases where machine can also have kind of empathy or creativity over a period of time. But one thing is very sure: anything that can be digitized or automated, that would be end. So if you can define your job, if you can describe your job, if you can write your job in a step-by-step mode that I do this, and I do this, probably machine would be able to do that better than you without making any mistake, and probably your job is no longer required at that point of time. So if you can describe your job, it will be probably automated. And in that kind of area, probably machine would say, why do we require humans? So maybe a time can come where humans are no longer required. So this is all fantasy, but we need to see why AI has suddenly become such a buzzword. We have seen that from 0.8 billion to 1.6 billion, search results in last 6 months. Why it has becoming so important? Why people are talking about it? There are three very important things which are happening. One, in one area, computing power is going to close to our human brains. Like we think, computing power is going to think in that manner, especially after deep learning, especially after using a neural network and all those things. Computing power is increasing. So that is one thing which is happening. Second thing is, because it rely on internet connectivity. Whenever you run some algorithm, and it needs to be used by masses, it works on a internet connectivity. So internet connectivity is getting better and better. And third thing is, your sensors are getting smaller and smaller and cheaper. So you have sensors all around. What those sensors are actually doing? Those sensors are creating lot of data, and with that data, this is helping artificial intelligence to be a better in terms of forecasting, in terms of predictions. What IDC says, in by 2025, we would be having 175 zettabytes of data by 2025. So if you see the growth of the data, so by 2010 it was roughly around 20 zettabytes, and by 2025 it is going to be 175 zettabytes. So it's a huge data, and in this huge data, if it acts as a fuel for AI, it can create wonders. So what is happening? There are exponential performance of AI models which are being developed. The advancement in digitalization and dematerialization. Dematerialization is various of the things which were either in a printed forms or in a physical forms. Those are coming as a digital form. In fact, I was reading a report uh, about pandemic. Earlier we used to have physical meeting, and in physical meeting, what we used to write a minute of meet, kind of thing, MOM. And most of the points which you have discussed, you try to capture in minute of the meet. But rest of the things, even if you have discussed but not written in that paper, that thing is gone. But now meetings are happening. For example, this session is happening and this is being recorded. So even if you have not attended this particular session, or you have missed certain part of it, you can go back and see this session. Similarly, you can go back into the past, see that meeting. So you are creating that kind of digital data which can be used for analysis, which can be used for future purpose. Earlier we were never using that. In fact, when I started my job in IT, it used to be called EDP department, electronic data processing department. So people used to write in registers or a lot of things, and they used to send all those registers to a department called EDP department, erstwhile computer department, and they used to punch all those data during the night into the system, and in the morning they used to take out the laser. So only for those 6-7 hours the data is being fed into the system, or data is being generated. But now, every time, even if you are not working in a computer, your mobile is generating a lot of data. Probably your devices which are connected in your home, maybe Google Home or Alexa, they are generating a lot of data. So it's a data which is everywhere. Because of that, all those things which were in a normal form, those are coming into a dematerialization form. Those are creating a data. This is giving a new fuel to the artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is all about data. This is the first computer and one of the super fast computer at that point of time, IBM Mainframe. And this was uh, very important because this was the computer which helped person to reach to the moon. This was the computer which was used for Neil Armstrong to reach to the moon. But the program which was written on that was only 6 MB. Can you think of that? That was the advanced computer at that point of time. Probably 10% of Candy Crush Saga nowadays, which is roughly 60 to 75 MB nowadays. So that was the power of the computer. Now that power of computer is in your pocket. That knowledge which was there at that point of time with NASA or space agencies, that power is with you. Can you use that power for betterment? Because lot of devices are getting dematerialized. Lot of products, people are no longer using their cameras or watches, torch and all those things. Everything is coming into one device called mobile phone, and this is giving rise to a lot of data. So what is happening? People are connected through social media, through various networking sites. There are processes which are connected. There are things, there are sensors which are connected, and all are generating data. So it becomes an internet of everything. People are talking about IoT, but IoT, in my view, is a thing of past. It is internet of everything because everything is connected and everything is making sense out of it. If you see AI, if you academically try to define AI comes into two flavor. One is your artificial narrow intelligence, which everybody is using now: smart speakers, self-driving car, web searches, and lot of use cases which we'll discuss a little further. But when you see a movie, you think of AI as a monster. Monster is coming and destroying the entire earth. They are talking about artificial general intelligence. They are not talking about ANI, which is being used currently. And as per predictions, probably we will take another 150 years to reach to AGI kind of level. If we reach to that level when your artificial intelligence can make machine think like humans and can try to destroy human as a race. But those days are far away. As of now, if you see, these are the things which you are using for AI. If you are having an email and your email are automatically converted into a spam, whether it is a spam or a correct mail. If your audio, you are talking about it in YouTube, you have seen if somebody is talking, if you have captions on, it convert it into a text transcript. It means machine understand your language. It translates from one language to another. However, there are a lot of challenges in that. If ad and user info, what is my probability of clicking that particular ad, and accordingly the ad would come to me. That is also one of the use case. Then image and radar info, based on that you can see what are the position of other cars, how those cars are moving, and image of the phone you can see. So all those applications are converted into AI. So email is spam filtering, speech recognition. So these are the new terms which are created by AI, and these are the action points which are being done through AI, and all those things are AI. So what is AI? As Saurabh said, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Data science sits somewhere in artificial intelligence, but there is something beyond that. So this diagram would able to give you a little flavor about that. So artificial is an umbrella term under which there is machine learning, then there is a deep learning, then there are other kind of learning also: neural network, learning, GAN, GPT, and all those things. But we are not going into that detail. But artificial intelligence, if you see, there are various things. You can use it for predictive analysis, you can use it for translation, you can use it for classification and clustering, you can use speech to text, text to speech. These are the various branches of artificial intelligence for which you can use artificial intelligence for. But now if you see what are the tools, I am also looking into the time because I need to be a little faster. What are the different tools which are being used for artificial intelligence? So Python is one language which is being used for artificial intelligence. For data science, R is being used. Then C, Java. Lisp was one of the earliest language which was used for AI. In between it went into a winter kind of stage, but suddenly now people started talking about lists. These are the different libraries which are used, and believe me, in AI, if you want to learn about AI, most of the good libraries are free of cost. Most of the languages are free of cost. Most of the requirement for learning specifically are free of cost, and you can use it for your own learning. And in fact, you can use it for your own purpose. CPU versus GPU. Artificial intelligence works on GPU because it works like an image, because image works on a matrix. I don't want to go into that detail, but that is a kind of decision which you need to take, whether you want to use CPU or you want to use GPU. Cloud versus on-premise. Earlier, the problem with artificial intelligence was it in order to run an artificial intelligence algorithm. In fact, when we started working on artificial intelligence, we have to buy a specific machine for artificial intelligence, and it took around 6 to 7 weeks before we could get that machine. And within 6 months, we thought that it is not performing as per our requirement. But nowadays, you don't have to wait for 6 weeks or 8 weeks. There are specialized machines available for artificial intelligence, and immediately you can buy that machine for a period of say 1 hour or 2 hour, and you can run your algorithm on that. So this is a beauty of cloud. Through cloud, you need to have your own algorithm, you have your own data, you can perform that kind of uh, computation which you want to use artificial intelligence for. So these are the open source libraries which are used for ML and DL. These are the cloud platforms. So three major cloud platforms: Google Cloud Platform, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. But for Heroku and Cloud Foundry, these are also good because they have good models which are freely available. So this is all about technology. Now come to the use cases part of it. In which area you can use artificial intelligence for? What are those use cases? For example, if you go through these things, Apple supplier Foxconn replaces 60,000 workers with robots at China factory. So 60,000 workers probably earning maybe a $5 a day, those are replaced by robots. So it means the cost of deploying those robots would be less than $5 a day. That's why people are being replaced by the robots. If you go into this Amazon warehouse, this is all driven by robots. All those orange devices are actually robots which are taking material from one aisle to another aisle. There is a builder robot which is constructing house in 2 days, and all those use cases there is a robots which can create 2000 different types of meals. It is all run by artificial intelligence. So it is a use of artificial intelligence which takes out a data, but it actually convert it into a mechanical form. As Saurabh was saying, that at that point of time mechanical was one of the things, because you can see something is moving. Now artificial intelligence is being used for that kind of purpose, where artificial intelligence is kind of giving it a brain, and then it is moving some part, and it is converting into a mechanical action. So robot is nothing but a artificial intelligence is working as a brain to run a part of a robot. So that is a very good use case. Can anybody recognize this person? This person actually don't exist. This, and if you go into this site, you can actually, this is a site, this person does not exist.com. This is a image which was created by artificial intelligence through a uh, through a model called generative adversarial network, and then you can read about that, and the code is also given free of cost on GitHub. You can actually go there, and you can use that code to generate that kind of thing. So this person does not exist, but AI can create it, and it looks very similar to a human person. It is not having a kind of horn or a big ear or big nose. It is just like a normal human being, but this person is generated by an AI based on certain data, and you can also generate this thing. So this is the power of AI. Now come to the industry part of it. These all use cases are good, maybe good for a PowerPoint slide, but how can you use AI in a real life? How industry is using AI in a real life? So I have tried to take out certain use cases depending upon different industry, But believe me, if you talk of any industry, any area, you can find out use cases of AI. I have tried to given some of the use cases before because of the paucity of time. So if you see into this manufacturing area, what is happening, so in order to understand how AI can help you out in a particular industry, you need to understand what that industry is, what are the different trends which are happening in that industry. So in manufacturing, what is happening, manufacturing industry, everybody is wanting a personalized kind of experience. So small batch size, a batch size of one, earlier people used to have so when probably this Henry Ford has started making cars. So he said you can buy any car unless until it is a black Ford car. So it means he was creating only one type of car, which was a black, and people were having no choice. But nowadays, for every product, there is a huge amount of choice, and people are looking for a personalized kind of product. So your batch size is coming down. You are not creating a huge batch size. So small batch size, greater variety, it creates a lot of complexity in production. It creates limited predictability of demand because you don't know what kind of consumer is coming and what kind of requirements are coming. So your product life cycle is coming down. You have to generate faster, so you need to innovate faster. For example, if you go into a kind of Jara showroom, why Zara is famous? Zara is famous because they don't repeat their clothes, they don't repeat their design. So every time, every season, they come out with a new innovative design. So that is a USP of Zara. So these kind of things are happening, and for that kind of thing, AI can be used for your purpose. uh, for example, in case of product design, product supply chain, demand management, all those areas, because it depends on the kind of data you are generating. For example, if there is a demand, can your production meet that demand? Can your AI predict that kind of demand? For example, I work in beverage industry. We work in a seasonal business, and in India, season is also different. For example, Goa, December is a good season for me because there are a lot of Happy New Year and Christmas kind of thing, and we deal with a soft drink, Pepsi. Uh, but in Delhi, December is a freezing cold. So in one area that is a season for me, but in another area that is not a season for me. So that kind of predictability is required for you to generate your right kind of production. For example, forecasting is very important. So in kind of manufacturing environment, your forecasting becomes very important, and AI can help in that. So if you see this value chain in any organization, these are the different value chains: procurement, production, sales, logistic, and service. How AI can come in? AI can create. So through AI, you can create that kind of middle layer where your procurement can become a network of supplier, your production can become network of production hubs. You may decide what you want to produce, what you want to outsource. You can outsource some certain part of it. You can decide what you want to sell, or can you use your partners or customers through affiliated marketing or through other means. They can help you sell your products. In logistic, can you create your logistic partner? For example, nowadays e-commerce are using a lot of logistic partners. They are not delivering your product by their own. They are using a lot of logistic partners for reducing their cost. In service, can you create a third party service provider? For example, in computers, even HP and IBM, their L1 support, their first level support is done by third party. They don't send their engineer. For higher kind of problem, they send their own engineer. So can you think of that? And in all that area, your data becomes very important. Your artificial intelligence become very important. So that's why people are talking about a platform approach. For example, Zomato, Swiggy, why those are getting popular? Because those are working on a platform approach. So in that kind of area, your cyber physical system, the physical system and a computer system, those are getting closer. As we have seen in kind of robots, your artificial intelligence is acting as a brain for a physical world. So these kind of things are happening where your data is giving input to a physical system, and physical system is doing a kind of acting on that data. So both the cyber physical systems are coming closer. Now, if you come to the customer service or marketing and sales, There are a lot of areas because voice analytics, you have seen nowadays there are even this IVR is a old school of thought now. People are talking about a real time uh, voice recognition. Speaker recognition, can a machine recognize me after hearing my voice? For example, if you are using Alexa, if you are using Google Home, can they recognize you based on your speech? Yes, they are. There are systems which are being used for that. There are automated customer service. In fact, in various e-commerce systems, when you call them, depending upon your voice and depending upon your last order which you have purchased, they send you to a different department based on your purchase history and based on your voice. In fact, there was a research in Yale University where AI is used for recognizing your emotion. If you are coming in an angry tone, probably it will go to a different agent. If you are coming in a soft tone, it will go to a different agent. So they have worked in that kind of identification. By hearing just one or two words of your voice, they are able to recognize emotion behind that, and accordingly they can assign the agent based on your requirement. So for those kind of things in marketing and in sales, people are using voice engine optimization. I was reading a report of last 1 year, what is happening in the mobile world, because earlier when we used to discuss about computing and all those things, specifically in Indian context, we used to say that in India computerization would not be much because India is a vernacular country and not many English speaking people are here. So the people who are actually required that kind of technology, how would they use computers? But suddenly in last 2 years, what is happening? This voice search is becoming very important. People are, you don't have to learn English. You can speak in your own language, and now computer would understand your voice. And based on, even if you don't know how to type, you can search and you can get the result which you want. So for these kind of things, people are using AI. Similarly, image recognition and fake detection is another area. Now I'll go to a retail and service sector. So retail and service sector is a kind of FMCG, fast moving computer goods, where people use a lot of AI. It is used for promotion management. What kind of promotion you need to run? So earlier, what used to happen, you need to have a one kind of advertisement for all kind of people. But now, depending upon the person, you can have a personalized advertisement. We have already seen that in on web. You don't get a same advertisement. If I browse one particular web page with my computer, I'll get a different kind of ad. If you browse from your web page, you will get a different kind of advertisement. But same thing is being done on a physical basis. If I go into a store, probably I'll see a different kind of ad, and if you go, you will see a different kind of ad. Recently I was seeing another video which was shared on the WhatsApp. In one of the airport, using AR VR, if you check on a display board, you will see only your boarding pass detail and your boarding gates, using your own mobile. So that kind of personalization people are talking, and then that kind of personalized promotion management or assortment design are being used on a real time basis. Self price update in a real time, in a FMCG, there is a huge problem because you need to put those stickers on the aisle on the product. So if you have put a sticker on a product, say 12 rupees, you can't change it overnight. But if you want to run a dynamic price, so if you have a more demand, you want to change this 12 to 13, or if you have less demand, you want to change from 12 to 11, you won't be able to do it because you need to physically remove the sticker and put another sticker. But nowadays, with a digital kind of shelf space, you can do on a real time based on the demand and supply. AI can take a decision. AI can monitor your shelf, what kind of products are required, what kind of demands is coming. You can use autonomous drones for last mile delivery. In fact, in New Zealand and in Australia, Domino is using drones for pizza delivery. So you can use that kind of things. This is a very interesting use case which was done by Facebook, and they have done it with one of the university, they have analyzed the behavior of Facebook user based on the kind of photos they are uploading on the Facebook. So they have defined two kind of people. One are they call it cat people. Another people they say dog people. People who are uploading cat photos and people who are uploading dog photos. And based on that, they try to generate the emotion based on that. And if you see this, they say that cat peoples are tired, amused, annoyed, while dog people are excited, proud, blessed. Based on that, they try to generate emotions based on the kind of photos you are uploading on the Facebook. So these kind of things are happening where by seeing one result you are able to find another result based on that. So these kind of things are being used for advertisement, for bringing the right kind of content to you. This is another example of AI where Amazon is relying on anticipatory shipping. You have not ordered a product, but Amazon knows what you want, and before you want, and suddenly you realize that I want probably this product, and you have seen that somebody is coming and giving you the product. So this is called anticipatory shipping, and Amazon is trying that. In fact, in some of the areas, they have already started doing that. This is the Amazon Go, another very good store in US, and it is a humanless store. So you go there, you check in with your whatever identity, you pick whatever you want to pick, and it will deduct all of your money based on that store knows who you are, from where you pay based on your credit card, debit card, or UPI, whatever. But this is a humanless store, and everywhere there are cameras, there are machineries, there are AI algorithms. They recognize you, they recognize what you are picking, what you are actually checking, what you are actually taking, and based on that automatic billing is happening. So this is happening just now. It's not a something for the future. It is happening, and for that AI is being used. Use cases of AI in service sector. So you can predict possible faults. You can have a condition based maintenance. Before your machine is going down, you are actually getting alert from your machine that yes, I am going down, change this part. In fact, in computers, especially in the high capacity servers, there is a self healing computer. So before it either heals itself or it generates a part order, and before you know that this part is going down, somebody is already there with the part and trying to replace it. So these kind of things are already happening. This is not something for the future, but not on a mass scale. But if you want to use in your organization, in your enterprise, you can use it. Healthcare is another very important example where either you can have diagnostic supporting application where you are doing a diagnostic but AI is helping it. Another is you don't require a diagnostic, machine is doing a diagnostic based on certain parameters. Another, once you have done a diagnostic, AI is helping you to devise a right kind of solution or giving a right kind of advice, or therapy replacing application where you don't require human, a machine will do the entire thing. So these are the four areas where in healthcare it can be used. And I don't want to go into the detail of it, but in the area of cancer research, specifically IBM Watson, that is being used for cancer detection, specifically in the skin cancer and breast cancer. If you go into this, if you have heard about this Angelina Jolie, a famous Hollywood actor, she has removed her breast based on the early detection, based on the genes. She has gone for a test, and AI has predicted that she in future she can have a breast cancer. So she has decided to remove her breast. So these kind of things are happening. This is not something for the future, and for all those things, AI is assisting either doctors or nurses or health workers. In fact, people are talking about digital twin. You create a digital twin of yourself. It's a kind of machine which you are creating. So before administrating actual medicine to you, it will be administrated to your digital twin, and it will see the reaction of your digital twin. If it works well for your digital twin, probably that medicine would be given to you, otherwise it won't be given. So these kind of digital twins are coming. A concept of digital twin is coming where your digital twin is actually facing all those things, and people are trying to think what kind of vaccine or what kind of medication is required in future by seeing your digital twin, and based on that, before get sick, probably you will be given a kind of medicine. So these are the different use cases in the area of uh, healthcare. Now I'll focus on the banking and financial sector. This is an area where a lot of fraud detection is required because you are dealing with actual money. So a lot of in case of fraud detection, AI is being used. It is trying to predict whether it is a fraudulent behavior or not. It is used for asset management, both physical asset or virtual asset. And AI is very good use cases for a new technology, another new technology called blockchain. And blockchain has a very huge, implication and applications in the area of banking. People are talking about a new currency, cryptocurrency, and all those things. But AI and blockchain becomes a very powerful tool for the future, and hopefully in future people would use it. So now you have seen that these are the use cases, but how in an organization or in an enterprise, how you can create your own AI journey. What people are saying, and this is all research based, there is a three horizon model. First horizon, you optimize your existing business model. Don't try to change your business model as of now. However, AI has a capability of changing the business model, creating a new business model, but don't try to do that unless and until you are very sure. So first part is use your existing business model, optimize it. Second is create a new business model. Once your horizon 1 is successful, and it takes time, then in horizon 2 try to create a new business model in existing market, and then create a new disruptive business model and go into a new market, uh, uh, either a geographical market or a different kind of category. So this is a three horizon model which you can use. In horizon 1, you see the problem with a manager point of view. You try to manage whatever you are managing, but try to manage it in a better way. In horizon 2, you see it from an entrepreneurial point of view. You see what are the new opportunities of AI where you can uh, go and conquer the new things. And in horizon 3, you go as a visionary and try to conquer a new world with a new product and a new category. So these are the three horizon model. Try to create your own AI competencies, because as I said, there are 6.1 million jobs which are required. But in an industry, we always uh, cry and say that we don't have enough talent. However, at one end, we are saying that there is a lot of unemployment, especially in India. But at the same time, in an industry, we are saying we don't get the right kind of people. So this is the opportunity for everybody who is in academia, who is in industry, or who is going to start his or her career. It is a huge opportunity for that, because there is a real shortage of talent in this area, whether it is AI, ML, or data science. So try to get that. I'm not going into the detail. This is a uh, brief I want to give. So these are the question you should ask. Which task do we try to solve? We should not use AI because we can use AI. We should use AI because it makes my task better. It solves my existing problem in a better way. It is giving me a better solution. And who is the user of our solution? Whether this solution is required to that user or not. So you need to ask these four questions before you should start your AI journey. These are some of the guidelines. Uh, First, try to create the use case. Try to see what kind of benefit you can get out of that use case, whether you have the real kind of data or not. If you don't have the data, can you get that data from third party? And then you start your AI. AI is good, but AI is not a magic wand. You can't get AI from the next day. You need to work on that, and it is a continuous improvement kind of thing. But once you have established the fact that you have the right kind of problem, probably AI can give you the right kind of solution also. With that, let me say that we need not to fear the AI kind of thing or a machine kind of thing. We can still work together. We should try to create a human machine collaboration. We should work with the machine. It is a human intelligence and artificial intelligence which will make the entire world better for all of us, and we should try to do that. and ride the train. Don't jump in the front of it. Don't see that it is a problem. Don't fear to that. See it as a train and use it for your own purpose. With that, I finish my talk. And if you have any question, any doubt, you can ask. If there are questions on a chat, probably she can ask those questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the enlightening deliberations. I am sure that this insightful session would have enlightened the participants about the real life applications. I would like to take up the questions by your permission. May I, sir?
Yeah.
So the first question we had is what kind of unexpected failures might occur in the world upon AI?
Okay. So like any technology, AI is also a technology. If you don't manage the technology well, it can also lead to failure. But there are two, three kind of failure which are, based on the history which people have faced. I want to share. One, you don't have the right kind of data, because as I said, AI works on a data. Data is fuel for the AI. If you don't have the right kind of data, you won't get the right kind of result. I just then there are people who are saying that there is a biasness in the data. Till now, you are capturing the data in a one particular format, in a one particular thing. If you have not captured the data in a right kind of format, probably your AI will give you a biasness. I want to give you one very real time example. You can go into the Google, try to translate from English to from Hindi to English. In Google, there is a facility that you can translate from Hindi to English. Just write वह pilot है and try to translate it into English. Google will translate he is a pilot. But once you write वह nurse है, Google will translate she is a nurse. Why nurse cannot be a male? Why pilot cannot be a female? Why it is coming? Because of the biasness of data. The data tells most of the pilots are men, most of the nurses are female. That's why it translated to a she and he. So it depends on the data. If you have a wrong data, artificial intelligence will give you the wrong results. So that is one kind of failure. Second kind of failure is you have got a limited scale product, but when you want to scale it further, either you don't have the capacity, or you don't have the right kind of talent, or you don't have a right kind of business use case. If you don't have these three things, probably you won't be able to scale the AI project. So you need to be very about all those things.
Okay, thank you, sir. The next question I have is how will AI impact financial inequality or concentrate wealth?
Yeah, so financial equality comes by not having the right kind of resources to all of the people. So if you provide the right kind of opportunity to all the people, and as I said that in case of AI, most of the algorithms, most of the models, most of the languages where AI is used, all are free of cost. People are talking about open source kind of environment. So if you can use AI, and not only models, but there are data sets which are also available. So if you can use those data for creating your own solutions, you can use AI for that kind of purpose. Second thing is for financial inequality is many times there is a concept of one particular entity who is controlling the financial management of a country or a society. That's why the concept of cryptocurrency is coming, where there is a concept of distributed ledger. It is not into one person's hand, it is distributed across people. So everybody has the same right or same resources available, so anybody can use it. So probably that is one area where AI can help in mitigating that kind of risk.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I would now like to request Professor M.N. Huda, sir, to kindly present a certificate to Kamal Karnatak, sir, as a token of remembrance. Please, sir.
So, Dr. Kamal, it was a wonderful presentation, and that too from the industrial perspective, because the AI is one which we teach in academia, but actually how the people are using in industry and what are various perspective and how can we take advantage of AI, you have very nicely explained, and thank you so much. This certificate is not for the purpose of certification, but for the purpose of remembrance that you have been part of this lovely webinar explaining the AI and many ways and mechanism for the way forward. Probably in a year to come, the kind of the forecast or the kind of the ways which have been discussed here may become soon a reality. So thank you so much for sparing your valuable time with all of us and being with all of us and enlightening us. Thank you so much. We'll meet again probably next time in physical mode.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I would now like to present an e-memento to Kamal sir as a gratitude from BBI Camp family. Please accept, sir.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Kamal. This memento is also electronic, certificate is also electronic, and bouquet is also electronic. So everything is electronic. Thank you so much. And dear participants, the meeting room is converted into now the facilitation desk, help desk, to ensure that all of you who have attended and if